Good evening, Dragon Lords. This is Defiant 2 here again. Just doing a video to kind of just basically do regular gameplay so you guys can watch some gameplay. We were supposed to have an event this go around where we had to fight for territory, which is probably one of the hardest PvP events we have. Because if you get surrounded by higher ranking teams, you tend to get outmanned, especially if we're not being active. So that event is very, very tough for us lower league players that just don't have the activity level. So what I'm going to go in here do here is go into the event tab and hit some bases. Same thing like for wars. I try to be very strategic. When you're choosing teams to attack, you can always attack the team right above us and help move us up, or you can just attack the team in the number one spot. Just keep in mind when you're attacking the people right at the top of the list, they're most likely gonna not move up in the ranks as fast as if you were to pick a team right above you. So originally I was going to try to attack, I think it's a new team. So we're gonna check this level 93 out. Let's see what we've got here. Easy peasy, I got this hands down. Sorry guys, on my other account trying to collect rewards. Alright. So here's where you can equip inner fires again. Just keep in mind inner fires boost your points. I have 309, so I'm going to use one. This is an invoker dragon. Basically, you get 4 shots, with the final shot dealing the most damage. Each invoker is going to do different things. Sho'goroth tends to be my favorite. I have another invoker on my large account that I absolutely enjoy, but he flies a lot different than Sho'goroth does. So each one takes a little different. Each invoker dragon takes different methods to fly. Sho'goroth is actually probably the easiest dragon besides a warrior there is to fly. So as you can see, I come in here and I tend to get more energy. When you first buy energy, this pack is actually worth 5 instead of 9, and it gets you 100 energy, and then you can use the super attacks to get more points. So that's why when I come in here and pick a team, I can hit this super. A mega, if you click that, you can see it takes 96 energy, 20 inner fires, and 1 energy chest or whatever they're called. As you can see, that howitzer did pretty good amount of damage because I didn't attack it first. But at least it didn't kill me. It's because my dragon was much stronger than it, so. If you don't have the howitzer, I would highly suggest it, especially if you've gotten all the little tokens to level it up. It's very weak when you're first starting out, so it's not very strong at lower levels. But man, when you get that thing up in max level for your base, it deals a whole lot of damage. Hopefully by now you guys are familiar. There's 4 different types of dragons that you can fly. You've got the most common, which is the warrior, which you just point and shoot at the target. You hold and press the button, which I can show you guys the difference if necessary, but I think most of you guys are familiar with that. But you have the warrior, and then you have the hunter. That one you can use up to 3 fingers. Be careful on iOS devices because that tends to initiate the zoom feature. So a lot of the times my attacks will get messed up because my phone will zoom in on an attack. So I would recommend using just 2 fingers, but you can attack two towers at once by doing like 2 fingers at a time. Then you've got the sorcerer. That's the one where you just basically swipe across the screen and it shoots 3 projectiles at 3 towers nearby. And then last but not least, you have these invokers, which were just introduced not too long ago. And they are, so far, Sho'goroth is my favorite, like I said. But it'll be interesting to see future invokers. I think Namaka was one before Sho'goroth that was really good. But with these new howitzer towers, some of these seasonal dragons are going to be very, very hard to defeat bases if people if you place them right, for one, and then 2, if you level them up very high. So this is basically what I do. I go in and at least once a day, I try to go in and buy the 100 energies so that way I can do multiple attacks. And then I try to equip inner fires if I have plenty of inner fires. So for most of you who are like really, really busy and don't have the ability to be on for a very long time, as you can see so far I've been on for 8 minutes and 57 seconds, almost 9 minutes, filming my attacks. So all you need is really like a 15-30 minute break in your day and you can do the amount of attacks that I'm doing and get some points on the board. And then call it good for a day. So if you're finding it hard to log on and be completely 100% active, I mean, because most of us don't have the time to be on here all day long. Just try to find time in a day, half an hour here, half an hour there, and get some event runs in. Normally there'd be quests too. Sometimes the quests are finicky, so be very, very cognizant of that because you'll do, and I've noticed it's mostly with like the breeding and fort event. If you don't go in and look at the quest before you start trying to do stuff for the quest, it won't count. So what I mean is you have to actually log into the event tab, go into the quest, see what the quest is, and then do the runs. Whereas with the PvP events, I noticed that you can just start doing normal attacks and you get credit for quests without having ever even looked at the quests. So that's kind of weird, but it's kind of handy on the PvP events, because then you don't have to waste your time going into tabs seeing what task you have to complete to get your quest done. As you can see, I've already gotten nice 10 little reward bonuses here. I still have 36, so I've got about 5 more attacks I can complete. One super attack and one just regular attack, or 4 regular attacks, excuse me. So keep in mind, I have 3 different accounts on this team that I do. So I usually, at most, am probably on at least for an hour once a day. If not, I try to log on more than that, especially on my biggest account that I have on the team, just to check in and make sure everything's good. So, like today, I was a little busy, didn't have a chance to log in until tonight. But just like I said, in order to maintain some activity, just try to do your best to at least log on once a day for like 30 minutes and get some of it, you know, drain your energy. You don't have to buy energy if you don't have the packs or you just don't want to do that many attacks. But at least get your 4 attacks in and get some points on the board is all we're asking. Eventually, if we get to Atlas, there's going to be a lot more to learn. A little rundown on Atlas is it's a game within a game. So basically, you have this game right here where you can do your normal base runs where you're collecting resources and points. You have wars that you do in this section of the game. And you obviously have the events. Well, Atlas has completely different things. It's a completely strategic game with Atlas, because you have to earn a castle or find a castle that isn't already owned by another team. And so there's castles in neutral zones that you're able to go to, but you can't own them outright for your team. And getting castles that aren't already taken is going to be hard. Each castle is in a section of 5 other castles, and in that section, those sections have elemental type rewards like fire, earth, water, wind, all that fun stuff. And that's where you earn stuff to craft gear for your riders, your dragon riders. You also collect gold in Atlas, and that's how you produce troops. The troops are only used in Atlas, and they're usually lost when you battle another team or another player. So like I said, Atlas is a completely different beast. It's a game within a game, and there's a completely different strategy to Atlas. So our goal is to eventually get there, and so that way it gets everybody exposed to a whole new aspect to this game. I will tell you, this game does get boring after a while. Just doing all these normal everyday things, especially when your officers and your leaders are grinding on you to try to get you to be more active and play a game that you might be bored of, because there's not much to it. Atlas adds a whole nother component that hopefully recharges you guys and gets you more interested in wanting to play the game and figure out the new part of the game, versus once you figure out everything that has to go along with this part of the game, now you'll have something else to look forward to. my main account, my biggest account, which is like level 350. That's in an Atlas team and tier, and same thing. We deal with the same things there. People officers and leaders wanting us to participate and make sure we're getting points on the board and stuff. So once we get up into those leagues, it gets a little bit more demanding. So just to kind of like a heads up and a lowdown on what to expect if we one day ever get there, which we will. It's something to look forward to, something to keep you interested in the game and wanting to play. So as you can see, I've gotten pretty familiar with Sho'Groth and how to fly him. He's easy to handle and easy to manipulate. On this next attack, maybe I'll go over his spells for you a little bit. Yeah, I got 2 more attacks I can do. So let's kind of go over his spells. Nope, I don't want that button. I want that button. So the first spell that I tend to use is this little poison and symbol and a star. What it does is, if I don't kill, like say I didn't kill these towers right there, it would slowly drain them and they would eventually kill themselves. This button right here, what it does is it prevents these towers from seeing the dragon and attacking the dragon. And so then it making him invincible, and then when that spell wears off, he explodes and kills nearby tower, or the towers take damage when that is done. So I'll hopefully be able to show you here. Nope, it just kills. But this poison one is really good. So watch. Nope. It kills the towers too quick. Basically, it's like a poison dart from the ballista towers, or I think it's the ballistas that do the poison. They shoot the poison dart, and then your dragon slowly loses health. This thing does the exact same thing, only to towers. My last attack, I'll use a warrior so you can see what a warrior dragon looks like flying. Okay, got a different team up at top. So let's see, what do we got here? That one I could take with Sho'Groth. Here, maybe this will... Nope, he's online. He's going to defend. These are all things you want to consider when you're doing your attacks. Are people online? Are they, are they there able to defend? Are they not? Same thing with war. How many members on the team are on? Okay, so for this one, I'll use a warrior. I got Haku. And again, a warrior is just a point and shoot thing. You just press and hold. This spell, the little white claw, is basically, it deals more damage, so his flame is a little bit more potent and it kills towers faster. This other white spell is like a shield. The white spell, when towers are killed, it creates health. So he gains health, and then this blue one's a shield that also provides health. As you can see, I try to take out the mage towers first, because otherwise they drain the rage bar right here. Without rage, you can't use your spells. As you can see, I kill all these little buildings and boats off the side because they give you rewards like timers. These right here are shields. So are these act as shields to other towers. So if you're hitting a base that's pretty equivalent to your dragon's attack power, if you don't hit those first, then the other towers are going to remain protected until it's dead or the spell wears off. So that's a warrior dragon, just point and shoot, press and hold basically. And then the sorcerer is just where you swipe the screen left and right. Sorry, phone balance issues. But that was my final attack, and that took me a total of 21 minutes. So basically, guys, just want to do a video of just me playing the game. You guys can see what I do, how I do it. And just kind of random chit chat in the middle, so it's not just me playing the game with no. So with these chests, what I would highly recommend is when we're doing like the fort event or the breeding event, the rewards aren't as good for these chests. So I save mine up for PvP event and then I open them. Reason being is because you have better chances of getting these energy chests or even better sigils and even inner fires. Like inner fires and energy chests are better when you save for PvP events. You get more, like, I want to say better odds of better rewards in these chests than if you were to open them during the PvP events. So what I do is by the end of this event, I'll open up the last bit of my chests, and I try to do 10 at a time, except for the free ones. I'll claim those. Go in here and claim some, breed a dragon. The reason why I'm going for this dragon is because it's discounted, so it's easier to get further along in the chain because it's discounted. As you can see, I'm collecting a whole lot of goodies because it's so cheap for it right now. And then just by doing that, I've gained that many more chests. So I can come in here and open more, get more rewards. But like I said, I would hold off on opening your chest until you get to a PvP event like Fight Pits or Kingdom Wars, or I can't remember the other events because I'm drawing a blank right now. So as you can see, I'm just coming back in here. I was able to get more sigils, and I was able to get through the first page of that dragon's branch. So that's just basically it. That's all I wanted to do, was do a random video of just me playing the game, kind of talking to you guys, kind of explaining things, and give you a little rundown, very little rundown on Atlas. Without having it to show you guys, there's really nothing to explain other than what you have to look forward to when we do get to a tier that allows us to have access to Atlas. Stick with us, try not to get bored, try to grind. Like I said, try, if you can, log on half an hour a day, do some attacks, half an hour a couple of times a day, even better. It really does help us out as a team. As you can see, the minute we dropped low enough, like I think we ended up dropping to like 30 something players, that's when we got declared on left and right for wars. And even if we go into the war tab here, we still have that one, the one we won on here. As you can see, we can come in here, we can see who participated, who got what. So that's, that's how we keep track of, who's participating, who's not participating. It also lets us know who may be going a little too high for their level. After seeing a few people, I think a lot of people just were left with a lot of higher level players and just didn't have choices, so they went with what they had available. If that's the case, please just hit and get as many flames as you can. Ask for a higher level backer, because I'd rather get 3 flames than no flames. So just like I said, stick with us. We're going to try to help get you through. I'll continue to try to make YouTube videos as best I can. This isn't a game that really requires a lot of YouTube videos, because once you explain base building and all that fun stuff, the rest just kind of is a moot point. Just watching me fly my dragons can be boring. But anyway, stick with us, and we're going to try to get to Atlas. We're going to try to get you guys to a different version of the game and get some more fun back into the game. So with that, I'll be signing out.